One of the other important changes was the estate and gift tax regime. People were furiously scurrying to do a whole bunch of planning, especially towards the end of last year, with the notion that the $5 million exemption and portability were going to go away. And lo and behold, those things got extended, again, in quotes, permanently.
Right.
Where does that leave us?
Well, a lot of people have done a tremendous amount of planning, and a lot of the professionals that we work with, attorneys, appraisers, ourselves, are exhausted in trying to position people to take advantage of what they thought might be something that wasn't permanent in the law. So a lot of things come to mind. Well, first, let's see where we're at. So as you said, the exemption has been permanently put in at the $5 million amount index for inflation. So that means in 2013, the exemption has risen to $5,250,000, or $10,000,500 for a couple. The rate was increased from 35% federally to 40%, but be mindful of the fact that if you're in a state like New York, which has its own standalone estate tax, the rate is actually closer to 50%. And in addition to that, the portability of the estate and gift exemption between husband and wife has been permanently put into the law, which gives us a lot more flexibility in terms of planning. So all these are good things. But a couple of things, Maury, come to mind when we're taking a look at this. One of them is the implementation of this stuff this year, in terms of making sure everything is properly documented, making sure that we have good appraisals that are done, making sure that the gift tax returns that record these transactions that we're going to be responsible for prepare are done correctly. These are huge things to lock in and make sure that the implementation is done correctly. And there are a lot of technical issues that have to be considered when we're going down this path. Are we properly allocating generation skipping exemption to gifts to trust? Are we doing gift splitting between husband and wife intelligently? Are we being mindful of all these things? Are we recording the business interest properly on the gift tax return and doing the proper disclosures? This is a lot of follow-through and implementation, but just as important as the planning to make sure things are done well.
And quite frankly, if that implementation isn't really taken seriously and cross the T's and dot the I's, you can really have a mess on your hands when the government comes in, as they inevitably are going to take a look at a lot of these things.
Yeah, that is for sure.